Yun. Hi guys, it's me, Teacher Gon. Yan mismo. Good evening sa inyo lahat, sa mga live streamers natin dito. Right now, meron tayong 10 live streamers na nanonood at nag-aabang ng ating topic. Ang topic natin ngayon is all about probability distribution of discrete random variable to be delivered by Prof D, which is si Sir Jeffrey Del Mundo from Muntinlupa City. And right now, ready na siya. Naghihintay siya sa ating backstage para i-deliver yung topic sa inyo. And I hope sa mga nanonood na ating live stream, you can consider sharing this live stream sa inyong mga classmates. Though holiday ngayon, kaya nga, di ba, medyo konti lang nanonood sa atin kasi holiday ngayon. And sana, you will continue sharing this and maging active tayo sa ating mismo discussion. And by the way, I would like to thank Sweethearts Craving sa pag-sponsor ng aming live stream. Shoutout po sa business niyo, ma'am, and maraming salamat po sa inyong pag-support sa aming live stream. And tatawagin na natin ngayon si Prof D. Hello, Prof D. Ready ka na ba? Sir, ready ka na ba?
Hi, hello sir. Nandito na pala ako. Sorry, nakatingin ako dun sa sa isang screen ko, no. Ready na ako, sir. Good evening.
Yun. So, ang topic na sir is all about this one. Sir, iwan na kita ha. Kaya mo na to?
Sir, kayang-kaya, sir. Thank you. Hello guys. Good evening. Wait lang, sorry. Wait lang. Wait lang guys,
Yun. Medyo may inayos na si Prof D. Shoutout sa'yo, James. Shoutout sa'yo. Shoutout sa'yo, Lea Padua. Ako din po, sir. Haha. Okay. Yan. Shoutout sa'yo, Lance Miguel Ching. Currently, Prof D is doing something about his setup. Let's go! Sabi ni James. And then, sana all, may love you. Love you, Prof D. Good luck. Shoutout sa'yo, James Padua. Good evening po, Ma'am Ramalan. Yan, good evening po. Oh, teacher ko yan, proud. Hindi niya sa Prof D, napagaling nito ni Prof D, kaya hindi ko siya, andiyan na dalawang isip na kunin si Prof D sa ating live streams. Salamat sa tutorial, sir. Welcome ka, Raisa Ann Sanoy. And sa mga live streamers natin, while Prof D is fixing his setup, you can comment down below kung saang city or saang province kayo galing. And you can include your school para ma-shoutout natin yung school niyo mismo. O yun, nagbabalik na si Cherry. Hello sa'yo, Cherry. Mga taga-saang school po kayo? Hello. Yan. Wait natin yung mga live streamers natin. Ayun, no? Live tayo ngayon sa Facebook. PLM, wow. PLM, legit. Akala ko, Cherry, isa kang elementary student. Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila. Wow, nice. Shoutout sa'yo. Sino rito mga sadya? Oh, yes, okay. Yan. So, waiting na tayo kay Prof D. Sige. So, plug lang natin yung ating sponsor. So, while waiting for Prof D to continue his discussion, I would like to share our sponsor, yung kanilang business page. And habang naghihintay tayo kay Prof D, ito po, meron tayong konting, kay Prof D. Yan. Ito, grade 10 student from GFLM, ang haba, GLFMNHS. Kasi Hari at Chensa, okay. Shoutout sa'yo, Hari. So, shoutout sa mga estudyante at mga teachers dyan sa school. Grade 10 ka pa lang, pero itong topic ito is for grade 11 na. I hope na matutunan mo pa rin to. Hello po, shoutout po sa'yo, ma'am. from Maguindanao Province. Salamat po sa inyong pagpanonood. Okay, so Prof D is back. Balikan na natin si Prof D. Yan. Kamusta, sir?
Sir.
Narinig ka na.
Yan. Sorry guys, dumating kasi yung anak ko bigla. Sorry.
Yan. Shoutout pala natin si Raisa Ansanoy. Ay, si Raisa pala, grade 11 student from Civil Science High School. Shoutout sa'yo.
Yan, so sakto kay Raisa tong topic natin, sir.
So, pakita ng stream mo, sir. Yan. Alis na ako, sir, ha? Bye. Good
Sige,
luck.
sir. Okay, so guys, again, sorry sa interruption kanina. No? So bigla kasing sumulpot yung anak ko, may kinuha. Yan. So anyway, so again, my name is Jeffrey Del Mundo and also known as Prof D. So our topic for tonight is about probability distribution of a discrete random variable. So without further ado, so let's start. So, in your previous lessons in Mathematics 10, an experiment is an activity which can be done repeatedly under similar conditions, and you have learned also how to list all the possible outcomes in a given experiment. So below are the sample space given the experiment, no? Example number 1, nag-experiment kayo nag-roll kayo ng die. Okay, so kung ililist down natin guys yung all possible outcomes in rolling a die, meron tayo ditong 6 sample space yung ating possible outcomes, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so number 2, ang experiment natin is tossing a coin and rolling a die simultaneously. So dito trinay natin kukunin yung mga possible outcomes, and pagka nag-experiment tayo, makukuha natin is we have 12. Okay, which is head 1, pwedeng head, then yung 2, head 3, and so on. Okay, so ano ba kinalaman nitong experiment and sample space sa lesson natin? So our topic is about random variables. In this lesson, you will learn that the random variables that are associated with probabilities. So random variables is a function that associates a real number with each element in the sample space. So we have 2 steps, guys, on how to determine the random variables on any events or experiments. So number 1 is assign letters that will represent each outcome, determine the sample space, and number 2, count the number of the value of the random variable. So let's have example number 1. Suppose 3 coins are tossed. So let H represent heads and T represent tails, and X be the random variable representing the number of heads that will occur. So find the values of the random variable X. So ang first step natin dito guys is we need to list down all the possible outcomes in tossing a coin. No? So since we have 3 coins, pwede tayong gumamit ng diagram guys para ma-list down natin kung ano ba yung mga possible outcomes natin. So paano ba ginagawa yon? So yung first coin natin, we have 2 possible outcome doon, no? Which is head and tail. Then sa event ng head guys, pagka nag-toss ulit tayo ng second coin, sa head natin, possible yung second coin is maging head and tail. Okay, so habang dumadami yung event natin, kung mapapansin nyo, dumadami rin yung possible outcomes natin exponentially. So kung 3 coins yung ginamit natin guys, makakapag-create tayo ng 8 possible outcomes. Diba? So ililista lang natin yan guys sa table. So ano yung mga possible outcomes natin? We have head, 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 then head, head, tail, then head, tail, head, then we have head, then tail, tail, then hanggang tail, tail, tail. So dito guys, ang variable na pinapabilang sa atin is yung the number of heads that will occur. So yun yung ating magiging random variable. Okay, yung number of heads. So sa first outcome natin, ilan ba yung number of heads dito? So kung bibilangin natin yan, we have head, head, head. So the number of heads is equal to 3. Okay? So dun sa pangalawang outcome natin, we have head, head, tail. So ang number of heads natin dito is 2. Then hanggang sa mapunta tayo sa pinaka-last possible outcome natin, which is the tail, tail, tail. So the number of heads dun sa ating last outcome is 0. So itong mga numbers na to guys, ito yung values ng ating random variables. Okay, so we can say the possible values of the random variable x are 0, 1, 2, and 3. And in equation, pwede natin sabihin x is equal to 0, 1, 2, and 3. So dito guys, pagka magli-list down kayo ng possible values, hindi nyo na kailangan ulitin pa yung 1, no? So yung tatlong 1 na yan, ang nagre-represent sa kanya is yung isang 1 dito sa ating equation. Then yung 2 dito, it represents the all number 2s dito sa ating table. Okay? So next is, suppose there are two people to be tested in COVID-19 and let P represent positive and N represent negative and X be the random variable representing the number of infected person that occur. So find the random variable X. So dito guys, ang ating napiling random variable is yung magpa-positive. Okay? So random variable representing the number of infected persons. So again, ang first step natin is to list down all the possible outcomes. So ang mga possible outcomes natin dito, we have positive, positive. We have positive, negative. So dito guys, ito yung dalawang taong nagpatas ng COVID-19, no? Then we have, pwede naman, yung isa is mag-negative, yung isa naman ay mag-positive. Then yung dalawa naman na nagpa-test, pwede naman pareha silang negative. Okay? So ano ngayon yung values ng ating random variable? Doon sa first outcome natin, ang infected ay dalawa. So ito yung value natin ng X. Doon naman sa second outcome, which is positive yung una, negative yung pangalawa, so 1 yung value ng ating X. Then sa pangatlo, we have negative and positive. So yung value ng X natin is 1 din. Then sa last, we have 2 negative, so 0 yung ating value ng ating random variable. So therefore, the values of the random variable X are 0, 1, and 2. And we can also say that X is equal to 0, 1, 2. Okay? So, yun yung introduction ng ating random variable, guys. So, punta muna tayo sa ating first activity. So, sa ating activity is true or false lang naman. So, para ma-stretch yung ating mga brain cells. So, number 1, rolling a die has 6 possible outcomes. Again, number 1, rolling a die has 6 possible outcomes. So, I'll give you 30 seconds, guys, para magsagot din sa ating chat box. Hintayin lang tayo. Again, number 1, rolling a die has 6 possible outcomes. So may mga nakikita na ako nagsasagot. Okay, so ang sagot ni Renz narito is true. Sagot ni Ria is true. We have James true, Leo Padua 2. So may hahabol pa ba guys? Okay, so ang sagot natin dito guys is true. Okay, so rolling a die has 6 possible outcomes. Ito yung 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Number 2, there are 2 possible outcomes when 2 coins being tossed. Tignan nga natin guys kung makukuha nyo to. There are 2 possible outcomes when 2 coins being tossed. I'll give you 30 seconds again. Number 2, there are 2 possible outcomes when 2 coins being tossed. So parang pinakita ko to kanina, 3 coins pala yung ginamit natin kanina, no? Shout out sa mga live viewers natin, guys. So just live tayo nga pala guys, live tayo sa YouTube and Facebook. So majority ng sagot dito is false. Sagot dito ni James ay false, ni Ria false, Leo false, Jaime false. So check nga natin guys kung false ba talaga ang sagot. So there are two possible outcomes when 2 coins being tossed. So the answer is false. Okay, so dito guys, pagka nag-toss tayo ng dalawang coin, since ang isang coin ay may 2 possible outcome, So technically, yung iba ginagawa, minumultiply lang yan, di ba? So kung 2 coins yan, tapos 2 possible outcomes, so 2 times 2, we have 4 possible outcomes. So very good guys. So mukhang nagigets niyo yung ating ano. Last, a random variable can only have one value. A random variable can only have one value. True or false? Last na guys. Yung makaka-perfect ng activity 1 natin, may libreng load kay Math Teacher God. Yan nga natin. Again, a random variable can only have one value. So dito, shoutout ko lang ulit yung mga nagsagot, no? So ang sagot ni Leo, we have false. Jaime false. Ren Narito false. Sino pa? Leo Padua false. Okay? So a random variable can only have one value. So sagot ni Ren Narito, number 3 false. Okay, so the answer is false. So nakita naman natin kanina guys, no? A random variable can have many values. So marami, hindi lang isa, di ba? Pwede mag 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So tama yung mga sagot nila dyan. Move tayo ngayon guys dun sa ating second topic, which is the difference between discrete and continuous. So we have two types of random variables. So the first type of random variable natin guys is yung discrete. It is a set of possible outcomes that are countable. Again, tandaan to guys, discrete random variables are countable. Yan yung pinaka-key term natin dyan. Okay? While the continuous random variable is a random variable where values are a continuous scale where the data can take infinitely many values such as temperature, weights, and heights. So the main difference between continuous guys and discrete. Si discrete is countable, meaning yung mga data or yung values na ibibigay niya is puro whole number kasi by counting. While continuous naman, sinabi dyan, the values are on continuous scale. So meaning, meron tayong mga decimals and fractions dito. So ang example natin dito is yung temperature, weights, and heights. Commonly, ito guys yung ay na-obtained by measuring. So mini-measure. Okay? So again, continuous mini-measure and si discrete is binibilang or count by counting. So let's have an example. Suppose a coin is tossed, heads or tails are the two possible outcomes. So this example is an example of a discrete random variable since yung heads and tails ay binibilang lang natin. Kagaya din sa previous example natin kanina. Okay? Number 2, suppose a teacher surveys her class for the amount of calorie intake of the students' breakfast. So this example, guys, is an example of continuous random variable since yung calorie is hindi naman natin kayang bilangin, di ba? So si calorie is mini-measure. Okay? So let's have more example. So the number of female athletes is an example of a discrete since yung number, di ba, ng ating female athletes ay binibilang lang. Then number 2, we have time spent in eating dinner. So this is an example of continuous since time is now obtained natin through measuring. Mini-measure natin. Then the amount of sugar in a cup of coffee. So absolutely, this is continuous. The number of siblings you have is an example of discrete. The number of deaths infected by COVID-19 in Philippines for the month of March is an example of discrete variable. Okay? So, hopefully, naintindihan nyo guys yung difference between discrete and continuous. So, let's proceed to our activity number 2. So, this time, again, we have a true or false. So, number 1, the number of patients per hour at Muntinlupa Medical Center. Again, number 1, ang ating variable is the number of patients per hour at Muntinlupa Medical Center. So, true, this is not true or false, guys. Sorry. Ang tanong dito guys is kung continuous ba or discrete. Okay? Yan. Sorry guys. Hindi siya true or false. Ang question natin dito is discrete or continuous. Okay? Again, number one, number of patients per hour at Muntinlupa Medical Center. Okay, check nga natin kung ano yung mga sagot. Again, number one, hindi siya true or false, guys. So, mamimili lang kayo kung ang sagot ba ay number of patients or number of patients, discrete or continuous. So, nakikita ko na yung mga sagot dito sa ating comment section. So, mostly ang sagot natin is discrete, discrete, by Andresito Kahutay, discrete, Ria, discrete, Leo Padua, discrete, Trends, continuous, Jaime, discrete. So, ano ba talaga ang sagot, guys? Sa tingin nyo? So, since a number of patients is now obtained lang by counting, so therefore, the answer is discrete. Okay? Number two, discrete or continuous, temperature of the COVID-19 patients. Again, temperature of the COVID-19 patients, discrete or continuous? Ano kaya sagot, guys? Okay, so basa muna tayo sa comment section. Okay, sagot dito ay Jaime, continuous. Sorry, hindi pala Jaime. Jamie po, sir. Jamie. Sorry, Jamie, sa mispronunciation ng name mo. So, continuous ang sagot ni Jamie. Si James ay continuous din. Then, Andresito Kahutay, continuous. Leo Padua, number 2, continuous. Okay, so since temperature is obtained by measuring, so this is an example of continuous. Okay? Last one, number 3, guys. The number of dropouts in NCR for the past 2 years. The number of dropouts in NCR for the past 2 years. Discrete or continuous? Okay, sagot natin. Sige nga. So dito, yan, nagsagutan na sila. Si GMA is discrete. Ria discrete. James, number 3, discrete. Renz, Narito, discrete. Leo Padua, discrete. And Drisito Kahutay, discrete. So check nga natin guys kung tama ba yung sagot nila. Again, the number of dropouts in NCR for the past 2 years is an example of a discrete random variable. Yan. So, very good guys. So, mukhang alam na alam natin yung topic. So, ang last topic natin is about probability distribution. So, many decisions are made by assigning probabilities to all possible outcomes in any situations, and evaluation comes next. So, in this lesson, you will learn probability distribution of a discrete random variable. So it is a listing of all possible values of a discrete random variable along with their corresponding probabilities. Okay, so probability distribution can be represented in tabular, graphical, or histogram, or in formula form. Okay? So sinabi dito guys, ang discrete probability distribution is listing of all possible values with their corresponding probability. So, aside dun sa ating values ng random variable, ibibigay din natin yung probability. So, pag sinabi natin probability, ibig sabihin by chance. Ano yung chance na lalabas yung value ng ating random variable? Okay, so let's have example. Meron po na dito steps on how to get the probability of each value. So we have three simple steps. Number one, assign letters that will represent each outcome. Then determine the sample space. Ito yung ibibigay natin lahat guys ng possible outcome. Okay? Number number 2, count the number of the value of the random variable. Ito yung bibilangin natin, yung values ng ating napiling random variable. The number 3 is kukunin na natin yung probability. Okay, so example. Suppose 3 coins are tossed, then let H represent heads, T represent tails, and X be the random variable representing the number of heads that will occur. Okay, so ito rin yung example ko kanina, guys. Okay? Di ba we have 8 possible outcomes dito sa ating given when 3 coins are tossed. Then nakuha din natin yung values ng ating random variable, di ba? Since sa first outcome we have 3 heads, kaya ang value ng ating x ay 3. Sa second outcome we have 2 heads, kaya ang values natin 2, and so on and so forth. Okay? So this time, gagawin natin yung kanyang probability distribution. So, ang table natin, we have number of heads, yun yung ating random variable. So, we have 3 values of x, and that is 0, then we have 1, then 2, and yung 3. So, nakuha natin yung values ng ating number of heads galing dito sa ating table. Okay, so ngayon, paano natin makukuha yung probability? Ano yung chance na ang lalabas daw na value is 0? Okay? So, para makuha yung probability, guys, bilangin nyo lang, ilan ba yung 0 dito sa ating list? Okay, kung napapansin nyo, meron lang tayong nag-iisang 0. So, meron tayong nag-iisang 0 out of 8 possible outcomes. So, therefore, ang probability ng 0 is 1 over 8. Okay? Next is yung 1. So, yung 1 natin, kung bibilangin natin dito sa table, we have 3 ones. Yan, kita naman. So, we have 3 ones out of 8. So, ang kanyang probability ay 3 over 8. The same with 2. So, ang 2 natin, guys, we have 3 2s dito. Di ba? 1, 2, 3 out of 8. So, yun yung kanyang probability. And si 3, we have only 1 3. So, that is 1 out of 8 or 1 over 8. So, ganun lang, guys, kumuha ng probability distribution ng ating discrete random variable. Okay? So, another example, number 2. Suppose there are 2 people to be tested in COVID-19. So ito yung example din natin kanina, yung previous example natin, di ba? Yun nga lang nahinto tayo dito kay X. Okay, so we have 4 possible outcome na pwedeng mangyari dun sa dalawang tao na tinest in COVID-19, di ba? Maaaring parehas silang positive, maaaring yung isa is positive, yung isa naman ay negative. Sa third outcome natin, yung isa naman negative, yung isa naman ay positive. Then sa last outcome natin, we have parehas silang nag-negative. So ang values ng X natin dito, ang ating random variable is ilan ba yung infected person? Ilan daw yung nag-positive? So sa first outcome natin, meron tayong dalawang nag-positive. Sa second possible outcome, may isa. Sa third possible outcome, may isa din. Then sa last, we have 0 ang infected. Okay, so ito yung ilalagay natin dito sa number of infected natin, which is 210. So ngayon, ilan yung probability na dalawa sila magpa-positive? So dito, we have only 1, 2 out of 4. So ang probability natin is 1/4. Then, ilan yung probability na isa sa kanila is magpa-positive? So sa table natin, we have 2. Diba? So that's 2 over 4 or 2 out of 4 or 1/2. Then ilan naman sa kanila yung 0 yung infected? So dito we have 1, 0, and that is 1 out of 4. Okay? Next, example 3. So 2 fair dice are thrown simultaneously. So may dalawa tayong dice. Okay, so alam naman natin, pagka nag-roll tayo ng dice, we have 36 possible outcomes. Di ba? Pwede tayo mag 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, then up to 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6. Then dito, guys, ang random variable na pinili natin is let x be the sum of the two outcomes in throwing the two paired dice. So ang ating random variable is yung sum. Okay? So bago tayo magbilang ng values ng ating random variable, kunin muna natin yung sum per outcome. Okay? So yun, para makuha natin, ito ngayon guys yung ating mga sum ng per possible outcome natin. Example, ang lumabas ay 1, 1. So ang sum nila is 2. Di ba? 1 plus 1, 2. Then 1 plus 2, we have 3. 1 plus 3, 4. Hanggang 6 plus 6, we have 12. Ngayon, itong sum na to guys, ito yung gagamitin natin para makuha yung values ng ating random variable. Okay, so proceed tayo sa next step natin. So after nyo makuha yung sum guys, pwede na tayo mag-construct ngayon ng probability distribution. Okay? So first, list down nyo muna yung mga possible outcomes natin. We have 2 to 12. Diba? Kung titignan nyo naman yung table, yung ating ginawa, meron tayong 2 hanggang 12 values. Okay? So ngayon, ilan yung 2 natin dito sa ating random variables? Mapapansin nyo, meron lang isa out of 36. So yun na yung ating magiging probability. Okay? Next, so yung probability naman ng 3. So ilan ba yung 3 natin dito? We only have 2 3s. So that is 2 out of 36. So pwede yung i-lowest term yan guys. No? Kung 2 over 36 ang probability, pwede yung isulat dyan 1 over 18. Yun nga lang, hindi muna ako dito mag-simplify kasi may purpose kung bakit hindi kagad ako naglo-lowest term. No? Papakita ko mamaya guys. Next is yung 4. We have 3 out of 36. Yung 5 natin, we have 4 5s out of 36. Then yung 6 natin, we have 5 6 out of 36. 7 natin, we have 6 out of 36. Okay, then yung 8, we have 5. Then yung 9 natin, we have 4 out of 36. 10, 3 out of 36. 11 natin, we have 2. And yung 12 natin, we have 1 out of 36. So, ngayon guys, after nyo makuha yung ating probability, pwede na tayo ngayon mag-draw ng histogram. Okay? So may purpose kung ba't hindi ko muna sila ni-lowest term. Although kailangan naka-lowest term guys pagka gagawa kayo ng probability table. Okay? So yun nga lang, may purpose kung ba't hindi ko muna sila ni-lowest term. So dito, tuturo ko naman kung paano gumawa ng histogram. First, ilista nyo muna lahat dito sa ating horizontal axis yung ating values ng random variable. And yun yung 2 to 12. Diba? We have 2 hanggang 12. Then dito naman sa ating vertical line, ang ilalagay naman natin dito is yung probability, yung P of X. Okay? So yun yung 1 over 36, 2 over 36, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? Then paano tayo ngayon magdodraw ng histogram? So yung 2 natin, meron siyang probability na 1 out of 36. So pagka in-sketch niyo yung histogram ng ating probability distribution, aabot siya hanggang dyan, sa 1. Okay? Next, yung 3 natin, we have 2 over 36. So hanggang dito. Again guys, pagka nagdodraw kayo ng histogram, make sure na walang space yung horizontal natin, no? Yung mga bar graph natin. Number 4, we have 3 over 36. Then 5, we have 4 over 36. Then 6, we have 5 over 36. And 7, we have 6 over 36. So ito yung ano guys, ito yung dahilan kung bakit hindi muna ako nag-lowest term, no? Para mas madali natin ma-arrange yung mga probability. Hindi tayo kagad malito. Then yung 8, we have 5 over 36. Yung 9, we have 4. Then hanggang mapunta tayo dito kay 12. So ito na yung ating histogram ng ating discrete probability distribution. Okay? So next is discrete probability distribution have two properties. Ang first property natin dito, the probability of each value of a discrete random variable is between 0 and 1 inclusive. So, yung P of X daw natin dito guys, dapat ang value lang na makukuha natin is from 0 to 1. So, dapat wala tayong makitang negative probability or hindi dapat siya lumagpas ng 1. Okay? So, kung may makikita kayong mga negative probability, baka hindi yon discrete probability distribution. Okay? Then, second property natin, we have the sum of all probabilities is equal to 1. So, pag pinag-plus doon natin lahat ng ating P of X, ang equivalent niya is positive 1. Okay? So, example, determine whether the distribution represents a discrete probability distribution. So, ang number of heads natin dito, we have 3, 2, 1, 0. Ito yung ating values ng random variable. And yung kanyang probability, we have 1 over 8, 3 over 8, 3 over 8, and 1 over 8. So, paano natin malalaman kung discrete probability distribution ba talaga yan? So, una, i-check nyo muna guys, dapat yung P of X is between 0 and 1. So, kung napapansin nyo naman dito, yung ating P of X is lahat ay between 0 and 1. So therefore, nasatisfy natin yung first property ng ating discrete probability distribution. Then, ano yung pangalawa na i-check? Pangalawa is kukunin natin yung summation ng ating P of X. Dapat ang equivalent nito is 1. Diba? Ayun yung ating second property na yung the sum of the probabilities of all values of the random variable must be equal to 1. Okay, so pag inad natin yan, 1 over 8 plus 3 over 8 plus 3 over 8 plus 1 over 8, that is 8 over 8 or positive 1. So since nasatisfy natin yung dalawang property, yung P of X is between 0 and 1, and yung summation of P of X is equal to 1, so therefore, this example is a discrete probability distribution. Okay? Next, number 2. Determine whether the distribution represents a discrete probability distribution. So again, nasatisfy naman natin yung ating probability. Lahat sila is between 0 and 1. So ang i-check na lang natin is yung kanyang summation. So pag pinag-plus natin yan, dapat ay equivalent siya kay 1. So we have 0.2 plus 0.3 plus 0.3 plus 0.2, that is equal to positive 1. So again, nasatisfy natin yung dalawang property. So therefore, this is an example of a discrete probability distribution. Okay? Next, number 3. Shown below is the discrete probability distribution of the random variable x. Then determine the value of P of 2. So ang pinapahanap is yung ating P of 2. Okay? Yung probability raw ng ating random variable 2. So, paano natin makukuha yan? So, by applying the property, yung ating summation of P of X, alam naman natin guys na pag pinag-plus natin lahat ng ating P of X, that is equivalent to 1. Tama? Diba? Yung summation of P of X natin dapat ay 1. So, pag pinag-plus natin itong apat na values ng P of X na to, yung 0.1 plus 0.2 plus 0.2 plus 0.2, we have 0.7. Okay? Then plus P of 2. So to solve for P of 2, ililipat lang natin si 0.7 sa left side. So magkakaroon tayo ng 1 minus 0.7. So therefore, ang value ng ating P of 2 is equal to 0.3. Okay? So next, example number 4. The following data shows the probability for the number of computers solved in a given day at a certain mall. So we have 10 numbers of computers, diba? We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So ito yung nabebentang computer dun sa isang mall. Okay, yun yung ating random variable. So ito yung kanyang mga probability. So ang pinapahanap dito guys is find the probability na yung mabebenta natin o yung X natin is greater than 3. Okay? So again, ang pinapahanap is yung probability o yung chance na ang mabebentang computer is greater than 3. So ano yung greater than 3 na yon? Yun yung mga P of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Di ba? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers lang naman na greater than 3. Okay? So ngayon, kukunin niyo yung mga probability ng mga corresponding values ng ating random variable. So yung 4, we have 0.6. Yung 5, we have 0.01. 6, we have 0.25. 7, 0.10. 8, 0.04. And 9, we have 0.05. So pag pinag-plus natin yan guys, ito yung probability ngayon na ang mabebenta natin is lalagpas ng tatlo. So we have 0.51 or in percentage, this is 51%. Okay? Next is find P if X is less than or equal to 6. So hanapin naman natin daw yung probability na ang mabebentang computer ay less than or equal to 6. So since may equal yung ating inequality dito, meaning yung 6 ay kasama doon sa ating computation. Okay? Or sa list natin. So mag-i-start tayo kay P of 6, pababa. So P of 6, P of 5, P of 4, hanggang P of 0. So ngayon, after nyo makuha yung ating mga value ng random variable, i-add nyo naman yung mga corresponding probability nila. So si P of 6, we have 0.25 hanggang P of 0, which is 0.19. So pag pinag-plus natin yan guys, we have 0.81 or 81%. Ito yung probability na ang mabibentang computer is less than or equal to 6. Okay? So next. Last example na ito. So find the probability na yung mabibentang computer is between 2 and 8. So again, yung inequality natin dito is merong equal. So meaning, involved si 2 and 8 doon sa ating solution or kasama sila. So mag-i-start tayo kay 2 hanggang 8. Okay? Since ang ating napiling variables ay between 2 to 8. Then, list down nyo lang yung kanyang mga corresponding probability. Then pag pinag-plus na natin yan guys, ang probability na yung mabibentang computer is between 2 to 8 is 0.62 or 62%. Okay? Nakuha ba guys? So let's have an activity number 3. So ito na yung ating last activity for tonight. Okay? So kung nandiyan pa kayo guys, kung alam niyo yung sagot, pakitype na lang sa comment section. Number 1, if 3 coins are tossed, what is the probability distribution of the values of the random variable having 2 heads? Letter A, 1 over 8. B, 1 over 4. C, 3 over 8. And D, 5 over 8. Ano kaya to guys? If 3 coins are tossed, what is the probability distribution of the values of the random variable having 2 heads? If you know the answer guys, just chat nyo lang doon sa ating chat box. Okay, may nagsagot dito. James, letter C, 3 over 8. Lea Padua, we have letter C, which is 3 over 8. So ilang kaya guys? May hahabol pa ba? Okay, so the answer is letter C. 3 over 8. Okay, so very good din sa mga nakakuha, no? Next, number 2. Given the table, which of the following satisfy the probability of X is between 1 and 4? Okay, again, X is greater than or equal to 1 but less than or equal to 4. Letter A, 0.15. B, 0.35. C, 0.45, and D, 0.65. I'll give you 1 minute to answer this question. Pa-shoutout po, Prof. D. Shoutout sa'yo, Sir Dan. Ayan. Ayan, may mga nagsasagot na. Guys, pag magsasagot kayo, pakilagay nung nung number. Hindi ko alam kung sagot nyo pa yan kanina. Anyway, guys, live nga pala tayo sa FB and YouTube. Under sa account ni Math Teacher Gon. Ayan, may mga nagsasagot na po. So, dito sa ating comment section, si Miss Jamie, ayan, Jamie. Letter D, 0.65. James, letter D. Leo Padua, letter D. Ayan. Tama kaya yung mga sagot? So, dito guys, pag pinag-plus lang natin yung 1 to 4, so ang lalabas natin dito is 0.65. Okay? So, dito nagtatapos yung ating lesson, guys. So, kung gusto niyo balikan yung ating lesson, ito yung aking mga ginamit na references. Okay? Kay Dr. Belecina and Under Statistics and Probability, first edition from Rex Bookstore. And yung Pearson Prentice Hall, yung kanilang elementary statistics. Okay? So again, this is Prof. D, guys. Kung medyo nabitin kayo din sa topic, you can visit my channel, Prof. D Math Tutorial Videos. Type nyo lang sa YouTube, Prof. D. So ito yung aking display picture and banner. So meron akong mga videos dyan about, tutorial videos about statistics and probability. And also pre-calculus. Then meron din ako, guys, basic calculus and general gen math for senior high school students. Okay? And kung college naman kayo, guys, meron din ako mathematics in the modern world. And nagkakandak din ako ng pre-tutorial live stream, yung tinatawag kong online math tambayan, guys. Pwede rin kayo sumama dyan during pag nag-live sessions tayo. Then meron din ako mga videos for junior high school students from grade 7 to grade 10. Pwede nyo i-visit, guys, yung aking account. And meron din tayo, guys, na operations and fractions. Kung gusto nyo reviewin yung mga fractions. So again, this is Prof. D, guys. Okay, so kung ngayon nyo lang ako nakita, pwede nyo dalawin sa aking YouTube channel, Prof. D. So yun lang, guys. So I think, thank you na Teacher Gon para siya yung mag-end ng ating live stream. So kung may mga tanong kayo, guys, or whatsoever, pwede kayong mag-chat dyan habang live pa tayo. Thank you, Gail Marcelino. Thank you din. Thank you so much sa pagsubaybay. Yan. Thank you, sir. Thank you din, guys. Thank you.
Yun. Thank you, Prof. D. Narinig na ba ako?
Lakas.
Lakas ba?
Lakas. Bigla na, sir.
Yun. So, sa lahat ng mga natuto kay Prof. D, this one is actually in our channel, sa Math Teacher Gon YouTube channel, sa Facebook page. You can actually visit his Facebook page saka sa kanyang YouTube channel, guys. Subscribe na kayo. Ito, naka-bell button pa nga ako para kada upload ni Prof. D, lagi ko mapapanood. So, ano yan, quality lecturer yan si Prof. D. Kasi, kaibigan ko to at Lodi ko to. Senior ko to sa dati sa mismong school namin ng college ako. Third year college ako, siya fourth year college. Kaya ahead sa akin si Prof. D. Ayan, hindi, kidding aside, thank you guys sa inyong panonood. James, lalo-lalo sa mga estudyante ni Prof. D from Muntinlupa National High School, yung mga senior high school students niyan. Thank you, Leia Padua, sa iyong pagtambay. Tapos kanina wala na si ano pa parang sinabi yung pangalan niya kanina?
Ang hirap pronunciation ng pangalan niya.
Yun. So again, we will end this live stream. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtambay. Tomorrow, meron kaming live stream ulit with the other topic. together with Sir Dan Apostol and Mr. Mark Anthony Gomez. Hintayin niyo lang sa ating YouTube channel sa ating Facebook page kasi um, we're doing this para sa inyo lahat. And I hope na makonsider nyo yung pag-subscribe sa aming mga YouTube channel. Prof D, any last words para sa mga viewers mo tonight?
Guys, so yung live stream namin to guys, sa simula pa lang daw. So sana suportahan nyo kami dahil marami pa tayong pag-aaralan sa ating sa pag-aaral ngayong pandemic. No? So again, ito yung first live stream namin about math tutorial. So marami pang susunod. So sana umabot tayo hanggang matapos ng pandemic guys. No? So yan. Thank you guys!
Ayan, i-end na namin itong live stream. See you tomorrow. Thank you, Prof D.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.